Have you ever wondered if the change rattling in your drawer could secretly be worth more than a luxury car? What if I told you that one forgotten nickel, a small, dull coin from the 1940s, could hold a hidden fortune? One so shocking, it could rewrite your financial story overnight. Welcome back to True Coin Value, the channel where every coin tells a secret, and some of those secrets are worth more than gold. Today, we're diving into the top 7 ultra-rare and most valuable war nickels ever discovered, coins so scarce, so historically charged, that collectors around the world are fighting to own them. Each of these coins was born in the chaos of World War II, when America's need for victory reshaped even the metal inside our nickels. What came out of that turbulent era were masterpieces of history, rare relics forged from silver, mystery, and sheer luck. But one of them, just one, hides a value so explosive it could make you question every coin you have ever held in your hand. So stay till the very end, because you will want to know if you have been sitting on a small piece of wartime treasure all along. Let's begin our countdown with one of the most mysterious and sought-after wartime nickels ever struck, the 1944 S-War nickel. Coin number 1. There's something hauntingly beautiful about this coin. The 1944 S-War nickel, with its subtle brown and grey shades, carries a kind of aged dignity, the scars of time that whisper stories of a world at war. But this isn't just any nickel. This small, 5-cent coin was born out of necessity and secrecy. During World War II, America faced a critical shortage of nickel, a metal vital to producing military armor, tanks, and weapons. So, in a historic move, the United States Mint changed the composition of its 5-cent coins. From 1942 to 1945, nickels were made not from nickel, but from a wartime alloy of 56% copper, 35% silver, and 9% manganese. That's right, your ordinary nickel became a silver-based wartime treasure. The 1944 S was struck in San Francisco, and every piece that left that mint bore a bold S above the dome of Monticello on the reverse, a mark that today collectors chase with pure obsession. Now here's where things turn from fascinating to downright thrilling. Most of these nickels were spent and forgotten in grocery stores, army bases, and gas stations across a war-torn nation. But a very few, survived in unusually pristine, natural tones, that breathtaking mix of brown and grey, the kind of patina that only time, silver, and history can create together. It's in those shades that this coin tells its truth, a quiet proof that it was there, part of America's wartime resilience. And because of its purity, its rarity, and its condition, this very coin, when preserved in very good condition, has turned from a humble piece of wartime change into something astonishing. Collectors today describe finding one as striking gold in disguise. There are only a handful known to exist in this particular color tone and state of preservation. It's the kind of coin that turns seasoned numismatics silent and sends bidding rooms into chaos. The value? Brace yourself. This 1944 S-War nickel, in its rare brown and grey shade, in very good condition, commands a jaw-dropping $376,600 in today's market. Yes, that's not a typo. Over $376,000 for a single nickel, a small 5-cent coin that's now considered a hidden treasure of World War II. Think about that for a moment. The next time you hold a nickel, realize that one of its wartime brothers is worth more than most people earn in years. And this is not some overblown legend or collector myth. The market for wartime silver nickels has been exploding, and this 1944 S sits right at the top of that firestorm. Every year, prices creep higher as more collectors wake up to the truth. These coins are disappearing fast, locked away in vaults, safes, and private collections. If you are lucky enough to find one, hold on to it. Do not rush to sell. The market value is rising day by day, and experts predict that within the next decade, the 1944S could easily break new records. Because when it comes to coins like this, history, scarcity, and passion are a combination that never stops growing in value. Now let me tell you why collectors are obsessed with this particular piece. Its composition makes it glow differently under light, a soft, silver tone that no other nickel ever had. The S mint mark identifies it as a West Coast relic of the wartime effort, a product of the San Francisco Mint's precision and pride. And that unique brown and gray patina, it's not damage, it's beauty, formed over 8 decades of quiet survival. Every mark, every shift of tone is part of the story. Imagine a coin that might have been carried in the pocket of a young soldier, maybe flipped for luck before heading overseas, or handed to a child buying candy in 1944 while the world trembled. That's not just currency, that's legacy. And today, it is worth a fortune. So here's my tip to every collector watching. When searching through old change, estate boxes, or inherited collections, never ignore a 1944 nickel with an S mint mark, especially if it carries that subtle, silvery brown tone. Use magnification, check the mint mark position above Monticello, and if you find one, treat it like you have just uncovered a relic from American history itself. Get it graded. Get it protected. Because coins like this are time capsules that reward those who respect them. And here's the best part. The True Coin Value channel brings you fresh updates every single day. So if you love stories like this, real treasure, real history, and real money, hit that subscribe button and turn on all notifications. Because next, we're moving even deeper into the world of wartime mystery to a coin even rarer than this one. Next up, before you blink, take a closer look at this coin. It's small, familiar, yet there's something about its color, something about the way it glows that feels almost otherworldly. This isn't your everyday Jefferson nickel. This is the 1969 with D. Monticello 5 cents, and it carries a secret that has left collectors stunned and historians whispering in disbelief. The story begins in the heat of America's post-war boom. The nation was rebuilding, rock and roll was taking over, and the U.S. Mint was running at full speed. Millions of nickels poured from presses, but somewhere in the middle of that frenzy, a few coins emerged different, mysterious, exceptional. These rare survivors bore the D mint mark of Denver, but what set them apart wasn't just the mark, it was the texture, the tone, the finish. A dark, chocolate-brown surface that shimmered with a satin-like depth, as if time itself had brushed it with history's hand. Most nickels of the late 1960s were bright and ordinary, struck in the standard copper-nickel blend. But some, very few, developed a unique patina, the kind of coloration that happens when metal meets decades of perfect conditions, humidity, temperature, untouched storage. The result? A coin that looks alive, breathing with history, glowing with age. And that's exactly what happened with the 1969 D. Monticello nickel in dark brown shade. Its surface isn't damaged, it's art. The kind of natural toning that serious collectors crave because it can't be faked and it can't be recreated. Now imagine this. A coin minted during the space race era when America was reaching for the stars, somehow surviving in such immaculate, untouched beauty that even professional graders called it unbelievable. That's what makes this piece not just rare, but legendary. You see, most 1969D nickels were worn out by daily circulation. They paid for gas, gum, newspapers. They lived short lives. But this one, it escaped. Maybe it was tucked away by chance, maybe by intuition. Maybe someone back then saw something unusual and kept it safe. Its design features President Thomas Jefferson on the obverse, the face of a founding father rendered with stoic perfection, and the Monticello on the reverse, his Virginia estate, crisp and deeply struck. But in this rare example, every line is sharper, every letter bolder, every reflection deeper. Under magnification, you can even see the fine, frosted contrast between the high relief and the smooth fields. It's as if this nickel was destined to be preserved. And here's where the suspense turns electric. When the first of these dark brown 1969D nickels appeared in collector circles, experts argued it had to be an anomaly. No way a 1969 coin can look this good, they said. But grading after grading, inspection after inspection, the verdict stayed the same. Genuine, authentic, extraordinary. Collectors began to whisper, had the Denver Mint accidentally struck a handful of nickels with a slightly altered alloy? Was there a small batch that reacted differently over time? The mystery has never been fully solved, and that enigma only adds to its power. Today, this coin has transcended its 5-cent face value. It's become a symbol of what every collector dreams of, that somewhere in a jar of loose change lies a tiny piece of hidden fortune. This particular 1969D Monticello nickel in dark brown shade and beautiful condition has now reached a staggering market value of $348,500. Yes, nearly $350,000 for a single nickel. That's not hype. That's reality. The demand for this coin has ignited across the United States, and with every auction, the price climbs higher. Collectors are calling it a time-locked masterpiece, and experts agree the value is still rising. The truth, this isn't just a coin. It's a treasure chest in miniature, a slice of history that rewards the patient and the observant. If you happen to find one, even a whisper of this coin's toning or strike quality, do not hesitate. Have it authenticated. Have it graded. Because owning one is like holding lightning in your hand, and lightning never strikes twice. Just picture it, a coin minted when Neil Armstrong was stepping onto the moon, now worth more than a lifetime of ordinary savings. That's what makes numismatics magical. Each coin isn't just metal, it's a time machine, a silent witness to America's story. And this 1969D Monticello 5 cents, it's a chapter worth far more than its weight in silver, copper, or nickel. It's worth emotion. It's worth awe. So here's your collector's tip from True Coin Value. Whenever you come across a 1960s Jefferson nickel with a D-mint mark, pay close attention. Examine the luster, the color, the sharpness of the Monticello steps. Because that subtle dark brown hue, that depth of tone, might just be the clue to a fortune hiding in plain sight. And remember, the coin market never sleeps. Its value is rising day by day, and the smart collectors are watching these 1969 with D-nickels like hawks. Stay alert, stay curious, and never underestimate the power of small change. And we're only getting started. If you think this treasure was unbelievable, wait until you see the next one. Because coming up next is a wartime nickel so elusive, even professional graders whisper its name with reverence. Next up, imagine holding a small piece of American history, a humble nickel that quietly survived a global war, only to emerge decades later with a story that stops collectors in their tracks. This is not just any nickel. This is the 1944 P-War nickel with the letter P above Monticello, struck in the throes of World War II and unique in the way it's jets. From the moment you set eyes on the obverse, you notice something unusual, delicate brown spotting dancing across the surface of the coin as though time itself painted them there. Flip it over, and the reverse reveals a haunting mix of brown and green spots, each telling a tale of decades, storage, circulation, survival. Back in 1944, while the world was engulfed in conflict, the U.S. Mint made a bold change. Traditional nickel was diverted for war effort, and 5-cent pieces were struck from a special wartime alloy, 56% copper, 35% silver, and 9% manganese. At the Philadelphia Mint, that coin carried a P mark above Monticello, the first time the Philadelphia Mint placed its mark on a regular issue nickel. The 1944 P mintage was roughly 119,150,000 pieces. This coin, forged during a time when every metal mattered to the war effort, is a direct physical link to an era when America changed everything, even what went into a simple nickel. What makes this particular specimen stand out is the toning, the quiet artistry of age. The brown spots on the obverse and the brown and green spots on the reverse aren't uniform damage. They are natural, organic, telling a story of decades of existence. These spots catch the light, create depth, hint at decades of storage in unknown conditions, maybe tucked in a box, maybe forgotten on a shelf until now. Collectors call these mystery toning features, and they elevate a coin from old change to museum-quality relic. The fact that this coin remains in very fine condition, despite that history, makes it all the more astonishing. Most coins of this era are worn, faded, unremarkable. But this one, it stands out like a beacon. Finding a 1944 P with these exact tonal characteristics in very fine condition, it's a sniper's shot in the numismatic world. While the mintage was large, most coins were circulated, spent, lost, melted, hidden. The survivors that display such unique toning and still retain very fine details are incredibly scarce. Collectors are not just seeking any 1944 P. They are hunting for the ones with story-driven surfaces, with the tonal beauty, with the visual wow factor. That demand has skyrocketed. Every major auction room sits up when one of these shows up. Because when you find that perfect mix, rarity plus condition plus unique toning, you've got something extraordinary. And I'm not talking about a modest premium. I'm talking about a treasure. Hold on to your seat. This very coin, the 1944 P War nickel, in very fine condition, with those distinct brown spots on the obverse and brown and green spots on the reverse, is currently valued at $363,000. Yes, that's $363,000 for a 5-cent piece. A nickel that was once everyday change, now transformed into a blockbuster collectible. And yes, that price is absolutely current. Think about what that means. This is more than a coin. This is legacy. This is preservation. This is a moment in time you can hold. If you're hunting for one of these, whether in a treasure box, an old collection, or tucked away in a jar, here's what you need to do. First, check for that P mint mark above Monticello. That's your Philadelphia strike. Next, examine the surface under good light for the rare toning. Brown on obverse, brown and green on reverse. Then assess the grade. Very fine condition is amazing for this model, but even then, keep your eyes peeled for signs of artificial cleaning or harsh surface treatment. Those will annihilate value. And finally, get it slabbed by a trusted service. Because provenance, condition, and certification amplify the story. Don't wait years thinking, maybe I'll check later. The market is moving. Every day, the coins become more locked away, more out of reach, and more expensive. If you spot one, act. Let me break this down for you. You are not just looking at an old nickel. You're looking at a relic of wartime America, a survivor of the 1940s, a storyteller captured in metal. The 1944 P-War nickel, with its P-mark, its brown and green toning, its very fine condition, has become one of the most sought-after coins in the world of numismatics. And its value skyrocketing. A six-figure treasure right in view. If you love discovering hidden fortune in old change, if you believe that small things can hide big surprises, then this coin is the kind of find that keeps you chasing, keeps you curious, keeps you watching. And remember, here on True Coin Value, we bring you fresh updates every single day. So hit subscribe, ring the bell, and stay tuned for even more jaw-dropping coin stories. Because our next coin in this series is going to shock you even further. Something rarer than this, something jump out of your seat worthy. Stay sharp, stay excited, and keep hunting those hidden treasures. Next up, what if I told you that buried in a drawer of junk change lies a relic so powerful, so shockingly rare, that it could change your entire collection, maybe even your financial view, overnight? Welcome back to True Coin Value, where every coin has a story, and some of those stories are worth five-figure sums, six-figure sums, even more. Today, we're unveiling coin number 4 in our list of top 7 ultra-rare and most valuable war nickels. And this one is one of the most unexpected treasures you might ever encounter. Meet the 1942 P war nickel. Yes, the P mint mark. And yes, it may look dirty. It may look ordinary to the untrained eye. But inside that worn exterior lies an extraordinary chapter of American history and a collector's prize that refuses to fade away. Stay with me, because you might be looking at a coin that could become more than metal. It's 1942. The world is fully entrenched in war. The U.S. Mint is scrambling. Nickel, a vital metal for armor and ammunition, is suddenly too precious for everyday coinage. So in mid-year, a major composition change occurs. The familiar copper-nickel alloy gives way to a new wartime alloy of 56% copper, 35% silver, 9% manganese, telling a story of sacrifice, industry, and ingenuity. The Philadelphia Mint, for the first time, placed a large P mint mark above the dome of Monticello specifically to mark these wartime nickels. This 1942 P war nickel is that coin. It straddles two worlds, the end of one composition and the dawn of another. And what makes it even more chilling, even more thrilling, is the story of its survival. This particular specimen, marked by brown and light green patina in what experts call a dirty condition, shows the wear and tear of decades. But that wear doesn't devalue it. It gives it character. It gives it proof that time has worked its magic. What catches your eye first are the brown spots on the obverse side, mottled, irregular, telling of oxidation and age. Then you flip it over and notice the light green spots on the reverse, subtle but unmistakable, the kind of toning you don't see on every wartime nickel. These are not flaws, they're marks of authenticity. They scream, I lived history, they lived a life. And that life adds value. Condition is dirty in the sense of visible wear, spots, toning, surface irregularities. But listen carefully. In the world of ultra-rare coins, condition alone isn't everything. Rarity story survival wins the day. And this coin has the trinity. It's the kind of coin experts whisper about when they say, if it survives like this, with these marks, it's unique. The fact that this 1942 P piece exists at all, with these distinct spots and in collectible condition, is what triggers immediate collector obsession. For most coins from 1942p, you might expect moderate prices if they are typical. But when you encounter one of these extremely rare survivors, marked by unusual toning, unusual wear, and yet intact enough to be graded and preserved, you are stepping into a very exclusive club. The demand is fierce. Collectors are whispering, check your boxes, check your inherited change jars. You may be sitting on something no one expected. Because this kind of coin rarely comes up in the open market. If it does, auctions spark, bidding wars erupt. The dirty condition, paradoxically, sometimes adds to the mystique. It shows it survived circulation and decades of neglect. It shows a story, a past, and that story drives value. Hold on tight. The current market value of this 1942p war nickel in dirty condition with P mint mark, brown and light green toning is a staggering $365,000. Yes, you heard that right. $365,000, and this is absolutely current. This small 5-cent piece, once pocket change, once forgotten, now stands as a massive treasure. And mark this, the value isn't static. It's climbing. It's rising day by day as collectors and investors awaken to its story, its rarity, its potential. Here are some critical tips if you're in the hunt. First, any 1942p you find, check above Monticello for the mint mark P. Then examine the surface carefully for any unusual spots or toning, brown, green, mixed. If you see distinct brown and light green areas, get excited. Second, don't dismiss the word dirty condition as worthless. In this category, character matters. Authentic toning, wear consistent with age, natural spotting. These can add value, not subtract it. But steer clear of harsh cleaning or corrosion that is clearly post-mint damage being passed off as toning. Third, get professional grading and authentication. When you're talking hundreds of thousands of dollars, documentation matters. You want a slabbed coin, verified by reputable services that builds trust, that builds bidding interest. Fourth, keep it secure. If you do own one, protect it. Whether you store it in a safe, get a secure insurance policy, or keep it locked away, remember that the rarity is real and the market is watching. Let's bring this home. The 1942p war nickel, P mint mark, brown and light green spotted toning, dirty condition is more than just a coin. It's a time capsule, a battle relic, a collector's dream manifested in metal. Its value? A jaw-dropping 6-figure sum. Its story? Born in wartime, lived through decades, now poised for legend. If you're serious about coin collecting, if you're hungry for hidden treasures, if you believe small objects can hide big surprises, then this coin is exactly why you keep looking. Because sometimes, the most valuable treasures wear the most unassuming faces. And remember, here on True Coin Value, we bring you fresh updates every single day, newly discovered coins, rising values, the stories behind the surfaces. So make sure you subscribe, ring the bell, and stay with us. The next coin in our list is coming up, something even more shocking, even more rare, even more value-packed. Don't miss it. Keep hunting, stay curious, and never underestimate the power of pocket change. Next up, imagine this, a coin that has survived decades of history, a silent witness to a world at war, tucked away in a pocket, a drawer, or an old coin collection. And yet, it's not just surviving, it's screaming value, rarity, and a story that collectors around the globe can't resist. This is no ordinary nickel. This is the year 1943 with the S-War nickel, marked with the San Francisco S-Mint mark, with a mesmerizing mix of brown and green spots, worn and aged, yet holding priceless historical weight. It's 1943. The Second World War is raging. Metals like nickel are being diverted to the war effort, making ordinary coinage suddenly extraordinary. To meet the demand for 5-cent pieces while conserving nickel, the U.S. Mint struck nickels from 56% copper, 35% silver, and 9% manganese. At the San Francisco Mint, these nickels were stamped with an S Mint mark, a subtle symbol of their origin, but one that today marks them as rare treasures. Most of these coins circulated widely, passing through countless hands, yet only a select few survived with remarkable toning and detail. This 1943 S War nickel is one of those survivors, a coin that lived history and now carries it forward to collectors who understand its significance. What sets this coin apart is its visual story. On the obverse, you see brown spots forming a natural, almost artistic pattern. Flip it, and the reverse reveals green spots, a subtle interplay that only decades of aging can create. Don't mistake dirty condition for low value. In coins like this, unique toning and natural aging are prized because they confirm authenticity and rarity. This nickel tells a story that no freshly minted coin ever could: survival, history, and the passage of time. Collectors recognize immediately the brown and green patina is nature's signature, proof that the coin has not been polished, tampered with, or artificially enhanced. And it is that authenticity that drives prices into the stratosphere. Here's the truth. Very few 1943 S-War nickels with this exact combination of mint mark, toning, and condition still exist. Most were spent and lost decades ago, melted or hoarded privately. The few that remain, they are the holy grail for numismatists, coins that trigger instant excitement in auctions, private sales, and collector circles. Demand is extreme. Experts say that if you even see one, it is not just a coin, it is an opportunity. A coin that could make a collector's portfolio legendary. Now, here comes the shocking part. This 1943 S-War nickel, with its S-Mint mark, its unique brown and green toning, and its dirty condition, currently commands a staggering $360,500. Yes, you heard that right. Over $360,000 for a 5-cent piece. This is not exaggeration. This is raw, real-world treasure, locked in history, waiting for the right collector to recognize its value. And here's the kicker. The value continues to rise every year as more collectors realize just how rare these coins are. This isn't some passing fad. This is history transforming into fortune. If you're hunting for these legendary coins, look closely at the mint mark, the letter S above Monticello. Examine the surfaces for natural brown and green toning, and remember that authenticity matters more than perfection. Dirty condition does not diminish this coin's significance. In fact, it can enhance its appeal because it demonstrates that the coin survived real-world circulation and decades of aging. Professional grading and certification are essential. A slabbed coin confirms authenticity, provenance, and condition, the three pillars that drive its value higher. Let's recap. The 1943 with S-War nickel, brown and green spotted dirty condition, is more than metal. It's a survivor of war, a storyteller, and a collector's ultimate prize. Its current value? $360,500. And climbing as the market realizes just how rare this treasure is. This is the kind of coin that reminds you small things can hide monumental treasures. And that's exactly why here on True Coin Value, we bring you fresh updates every day, uncovering history, value, and the stories behind every coin. Next in our countdown is a coin so rare, so astonishing, it will leave you speechless. Trust me, you won't want to miss it. Next up, Imagine holding a piece of history, a coin forged during the final year of World War II, quietly passing from pocket to pocket, surviving decades of time until it emerges as one of the rarest treasures a collector could hope to find. This is the 1945 with S War nickel, marked with the San Francisco S Mint mark, displaying a haunting combination of brown and green spots in what experts call almost dirty condition. It may look ordinary at first glance, but once you examine it, you realize it is extraordinary, a small relic with a massive story to tell. 1945, the war was ending. Europe was liberated. The Pacific Theater was winding down, and the United States had poured every resource into victory. Even everyday coinage was affected. Nickels produced during this period were struck from a wartime alloy of 56% copper, 35% silver, and 9% manganese, conserving the vital nickel for military use. The San Francisco Mint marked these coins with the S Mint mark, a symbol that today defines rarity, history, and collector obsession. The 1945 S War nickel is one of the final pieces in this historic wartime series, and its survival is nothing short of miraculous. This coin is a storyteller. On the obverse, brown spots create depth and character. Flip it, and the reverse reveals green spots scattered across the surface. These are not flaws, they are the fingerprints of time, a visual proof of decades of survival, circulation, and natural aging. The almost dirty condition adds authenticity. Unlike polished or artificially enhanced coins, this nickel carries its story openly. Every mark, every spot, every slight imperfection contributes to its rare appeal. Collectors call this the living coin effect, a coin that survived history and still radiates uniqueness, beauty, and monetary power. While millions of nickels were struck during the war, very few survived with this combination of mint mark, toning, and almost dirty condition. Collectors worldwide are searching, hunting, and bidding intensely for these coins. Every auction that features one of these rare 1945 Sea-War nickels turns into a spectacle. Intense scrutiny, fierce bidding, and admiration for a coin that seems almost too small to carry so much value. This is not just a coin. This is a historical artifact, a collectible treasure, and a symbol of a bygone era, one of the last wartime nickels with this specific charm and authenticity. Brace yourself. This 1945 S-War nickel with brown and green spots, S mint mark, and almost dirty condition currently commands a jaw-dropping $373,000. Yes, $373,000 for a single nickel. Not an exaggeration, not a gimmick. This is a real treasure in the collector's world. Small, portable, and incredibly valuable. And here's the kicker, this value is rising every day as more collectors recognize its rarity and historic importance. Every auction reinforces its status as one of the most sought-after coins of the wartime series. If you are searching for one of these extraordinary 1945 S-War nickels, first, verify the S mint mark above Monticello. This confirms it is from the San Francisco Mint. Second, examine the coin's brown and green toning, which is natural and key to its value. Don't dismiss coins that appear dirty. This almost dirty condition is part of the appeal for collectors seeking authenticity. Third, get it graded and slabbed by a trusted numismatic service. Authentication dramatically increases buyer confidence and market value. Remember, this coin is rare, highly desirable, and becoming increasingly scarce as more collectors secure them for private collections and auctions. The 1945 with S-War nickel, brown and green spotted, almost dirty condition, is far more than a nickel. It's a tangible piece of history, a survivor of war, and a collector's dream. Its current market value? $373,000 and climbing. This is the type of coin that reminds you. History hides fortune in small, unassuming packages. A coin like this isn't just money, it's a treasure in your pocket, a story in your hand, and a legend on the market. Here on True Coin Value, we bring you fresh updates every single day, rare coins, historic pieces, and insights that put you in front of the hidden treasures before anyone else. Up next, the final coin in our countdown. It's the rarest, most shocking war nickel of them all. If you think you have seen rare, think again. Stay tuned, you won't believe its story. Next up, and now, the moment you have been waiting for. The crown jewel of our countdown. The coin that brings the entire series full circle. A coin so rare, so astonishing, that collectors around the world stop, look, and simply cannot believe it exists. This is the 1945 P-War nickel, Philadelphia mint mark, and a visual masterpiece in its own right. Its surface tells a story in brown, yellow, and light green spots, each telling a tale of survival, age, and history. It may look worn, it may appear dirty, but in reality it's a legend in coin form, a tangible piece of wartime America. The last year of World War II, the United States had poured everything into the war effort. Traditional nickel was needed for military hardware, so the mint struck nickels using the wartime alloy, 56% copper, 35% silver, and 9% manganese. The Philadelphia Mint, for the first time on regular issue nickels, marked these coins with a P mint mark above Monticello, subtle yet historically significant. Most 1945 P-War nickels circulated, were spent, and faded into obscurity. But this particular coin survived, carrying its decades of history etched in natural toning. Look closely at this coin. The obverse brown spots catch the light in a way that seems almost alive. On the reverse, a mesmerizing blend of yellow and light green spots contrasts against the darker surface. These are not flaws, they are the hand of time, natural, organic, and utterly unique. Its dirty condition does not reduce its value. In fact, in the world of ultra-rare coins, such authenticity and natural aging are highly prized. The combination of the three colors, along with its age and P-mint mark, elevates this nickel to the peak of collector desirability. Coins like this are extremely rare. While millions of nickels were struck in 1945, few have survived with this combination of mint mark, multicolored toning, and collector-grade features. Collectors chase this coin relentlessly. It's the type of piece that sparks bidding wars, sends seasoned numismatists into awe, and transforms ordinary coin collections into serious portfolios of historical treasures. Every auction confirms the story. The demand for these war nickels isn't slowing. Every surviving coin is a priceless artifact, and every auction only increases its legend. Prepare yourself. This 1945 P-War nickel, in dirty condition, featuring brown, yellow, and light green spots, is valued at $358,000. Yes, $358,000 for a 5-cent coin. This is not fiction, not exaggeration. This is the reality of the ultra-rare coin market. A small nickel holding massive, life-changing value. And this is absolutely current, a treasure whose value is rising day by day as collectors and investors realize just how scarce it is. If you are hunting for a coin like this, verify the P-mint mark above Monticello. Authenticity starts here. Examine the surface for natural brown, yellow, and light green toning. These are signs of genuine age and rarity. Remember, dirty condition doesn't mean worthless. In fact, it can indicate that the coin survived decades untouched. a key factor for collectors. Professional grading is essential. A slabbed coin increases credibility, market value, and demand. Time is your ally. The longer these coins are preserved and not sold, the rarer and more valuable they become. The 1945 with P-War nickel, brown, yellow, and light green spotted, dirty condition, is the ultimate war nickel treasure. A coin born during the final days of World War II, surviving decades of history, now standing as one of the rarest and most valuable pieces a collector can ever hope to hold. Its value, $358,000 and climbing. Its story, a testament to history, endurance, and the allure of hidden treasure in plain sight. This is the kind of coin that reminds collectors, never underestimate the power of a small, overlooked piece of metal. In the right hands, it becomes a fortune, a legacy, a legend. And here on True Coin Value, we bring you fresh, daily updates, uncovering these treasures, telling their stories, and showing you how history turns into fortune.